At ease, brothers. Do you want to know why you're here, brothers? Do you ever ask yourself the question, like what is the meaning of life? That's a real question, man. And I'm telling you, if you haven't asked yourself that question at some point in time in your life, man, you really aren't digging. You really aren't digging toward the purpose of really even existing, man. Now, I can remember I asked myself that several years ago. Man. I can remember when I was young. I can remember when I was probably early teens, man, and I could see, me and my friends were hanging out. We'd be on the block. We'd be out playing basketball, whatever. And I could see all the adults. I could see everybody's mom and pop and everybody working and everybody buying furniture and everybody, being, evolving as humans. Everybody having children and buying new cars and going on vacations. And I said, that's life right there, bro. I said, that's the ultimate goal. When I get there, I'll finally be living. I just want that freedom. I just want to be an adult. Like that's the victory of life, man. Just getting to that point, bro. And I can remember, man, when I was in my late teens and I got my first apartment. Longview, Texas, Eastman Road. I can't think of the name of that place, man. Got me a 1-bedroom apartment, brothers. Wasn't nothing special, man. My couch was my grandmother's couch. If you can remember that old furniture, man, it's pretty much generic back then. Everybody had it. I think it had like barns on it or something. It was old country furniture. I had that, and I had a big wicker chairs. All the kingpins you sit in back of the day. They got one of those, man. I think my family had it or something. Nothing special, but it was my own apartment. I remember I had my own crib. I had a job working at Color Time delivering furniture, making $11.90 an hour. I remember that. I thought I was winning, bro. Had a cute little girlfriend. Had a Cadillac on 100 spokes. Life was good, bro. And I said, you know what? I always said, if I can get to that point, I'll finally be living. That's what life is about. That's the name of the game. That's where I'm supposed to be going, brothers. And I'm gonna tell you, once I got there, I haven't even hit 20 yet. Once I got there, man, and I'm looking at my paycheck and your uncle and them taking hella taxes out. I'm paying bills and I gotta get the rent paid and water bill is coming in and blase. I ain't got a lot of time to go out and do, because I'm working. And now my life is becoming a pattern. Well, Monday through Monday, pretty much, man. I'm doing the same thing. Life is on autopilot. And I paused, man. And I said, this cannot be life. I said, this right here cannot be life. I said, you know what? It may be good. It will be grand, even if the things I have, even if I could expand my territory and get bigger and better things that I have. I said, yeah, that'll be good, but this still can't be life, man. This can't be what it's all about. And the reason I even came to that conclusion, not that I wasn't grateful for my life, but I can remember being a young man, hearing my father preaching in the pulpits of East Texas, talking about this source energy, talking about this God, and talking about this power we had. I said, bro, we got all this power, we got all this stuff, and this is the end goal. Like I've told y'all, brother, a million times before, man, I would have been better off just staying where I was, man. Wherever we were before this existence, I would have just rather just stayed there. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of trying to meet deadlines and getting the rent paid. I'm tired of all this stuff, bro. Like if this is the end goal, if I'm 18 years old and I plan to live to 100 years old and this is going to be my experience, I said, bro, I don't want to play this game, man. I'm grateful, but I would have just rather have stayed in wherever I came from before I was born on this planet. And I believe, if I'm honest with myself, I believe that's what started my journey toward seeking deeper levels of understanding, man. Maybe my approach wasn't as aggressive back then, but in the back of my mind, I always said, you know what? There's more to know. There's more to know, man, than what I know. Because I fully understand this experience on this planet is supposed to be more than this. You know what I'm saying? So I can remember, bro, when I hit my 20s, man, and again, expanding my territory. My girlfriend had turned into my wife. My cars turned into bigger vehicles. My one bedroom apartment turned into a bigger home in my early 20s, right? Military. And I still felt like, you know what? This world can continue to expand, but I'm still feeling like I missed the bus. I'm still feeling like there's a memo that was missed, brothers. And that's when I start taking it serious, man. I said, if I'm going to be on this planet, bro, if I'm going to be here, I have to find the meaning of life. And I'm going to tell you today, brothers, what the meaning of life is. The sole reason we're here. There's only one reason we're even on this planet. One reason, brothers. And that sole reason is to manipulate energy. What he said? That's what the chicks from the 318 said. Your whole purpose here, the whole reason of you existing, the whole reason of you being born into this third dimensional plane is to manipulate energy and nothing else. I mean, you can do everything you want to do, but your sole reason of being here is to manipulate energy. And this is the thing, man. You're manipulating energy whether you know it or not, whether you want to or not. The thing is, are you manipulating this energy for yourself, or are you manipulating energy for others? So that others can benefit from you. And I'm not sitting there talking about, oh, if you're working for somebody else, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the system that's in place. I'm talking about the propaganda. I'm talking about the information that feeds you who you are, that feeds you your reality, that feeds you your truth. If you're buying into that and you can't step back and say, you know what, I see what's going on, but let me define my own truth. If you can't do that, brother, most people are unaware that they're manipulating energy for the betterment, if that's even a word, for someone else, for some other entity, group of people, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to step away from this current reality, from this current, mind, thought, energy, man, and say, you know what, let me, I always say this, bro. I say, man must know who he is and where he's going. You can't think that. You can't even have those thoughts without separating yourself from the masses. You can't do it. That's why I say when a man wakes up every morning, he must ask himself two questions. He must ask himself who he is and where he's going. Because just that thought alone is going to separate you from 99.9% of people. You're going to say, you know what? What's my mission? Who am I? Where am I going? Screw what the world says. Screw the program of graduating, going to college, doing it, and get married, screw that program. If that's what I want to do, it's cool. But who am I and where am I going? And if that lines up with me, then that's how I'll move. So how does one manipulate energy, man? How does one manipulate energy? It's the word I said a second ago, man. A man must understand his truth. First, a man must just understand that his world is governed by his truth before he even manipulates it. And what I mean is this. When I say your truth, I'm talking about your beliefs. I'm talking about what you stand on. I'm talking about your faith. What you call real, what laws, your truth. In other words, if you grew up your whole life and somebody said, oh, because your skin looks like that, then you're limited to a certain part of society. You're limited to, you can only live in a few places. You can only get a few jobs. You can only do so many things. And to be honest, sometimes those things are said without really being said. Sometimes it's implied in your favorite movie. Sometimes it's implied in a Mickey D's commercial without you even knowing it. And you take it on, you call it your truth. Sometimes they say if you were born on this side of the tracks, then I don't care how hard you try, this is where you'll be in life, brother. And again, sometimes it's not said. Sometimes it's spoken directly to your subconscious mind by watching the Good Times growing up. You know what I'm saying? By watching Fred Sanford growing up. Sometimes by watching movies like Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood back in the days, it gave us our truth. It told us who we were, man. So then we started living our life, manipulating this world for somebody else's greater good, brother. You think as we were filling the world's prisons and filling the world's graveyards, that somebody wasn't benefiting from that? Contraire, mon frere. So a man must first identify his truth, brother. And this is the thing, man. Your truth can be whatever you want it to be. Your truth can be whatever you want it to be. That's the beauty of when I say stepping back from it. Your truth can be whatever you want it to be. We were talking about this morning, man, in our in the power circles. On Mondays we have a group meditation, and we were talking about this in the Master Key system. In the Master Key system, it says this. It says, your life and your actions and your influence in the world will depend upon your degree of truth, which you are enabled to perceive. For truth will not manifest itself in creed, but in conduct. The first part is heavy. Your life and your actions, your influence, it says your life and your actions and your influence in the world will depend upon your degree of truth, which you are enabled to perceive. What is your mind enabled to perceive? How far can you think? Can you think past dipping the fries in McDonald's for the next 100 years? Because if you can't think farther than that, brother, you'll never get past that. Can you think past getting the $15 an hour? Can you think past getting a job in the oil field? You know, back home in East Texas, man, when I was young, like, you got a job in the oil field, you pretty much president of the United States. You would hit a home run. You know what I'm saying? So you got to say, you know what are the limits of my truth? Brother Hannell said, can you enable your mind to perceive a certain thing? But then he said this: for truth will not manifest itself in creed, but in conduct. In other words, you can think all you want to. He said truth will not manifest itself in creed, meaning you can go to Sunday school, you can go to vacation Bible school, you can go to revivals, you can go this for 100 years. You can take the pilgrimage, you can go to everything. You can do all these services. You can prostrate in a certain direction to the exact degree for 1,000 years. You can sit in your home and meditate and get the highest version of yourself, man. Brother Hannell said this. He says, truth will not manifest itself in creed, in practice or whatever, but in conduct. The thing is, and this is what keeps most people from walking in it, brother. You have to walk in that thing. Your conduct has to be aligned with what your perception, man. Your conduct has to be in line with what you can perceive. So the first thing, it's like a double lock. It's a double lock, man. It's a two-step process. First, you got to step back and say, you know what? What is my truth? What is my truth? And now I have to walk in it, bro. That's how you manipulate energy. That's the sole reason of us being here. There is no other reason for us being here. There is no other reason for us being here except to do that. That's the beauty of life. That's what makes life fun, brothers. Until you understand that, until you start moving in that, that's what makes life fun. Understanding that and knowing that instantly takes a man out of the competitive stage. There's no reason after that to look around and see what other brothers have, to see what you don't have and feel this state of lack. Let's look around and enjoy the blessings of everybody that everybody is getting, man, and then creating your own, man. Lack can't exist in an atmosphere like that. Lack can't even exist. Lack can't even exist when you understand this, man. It can't exist, brothers. You have to identify your truth, man. And once you identify your truth, you'll instantly understand that your conduct, what you're walking in, is creating your life. But I'm gonna tell you this: once you understand this, at the same time, man, I promise, you'll start looking at your challenges and take joy in them. Because first you'll understand that you created them, and part of the game is getting yourself out of it. It's part of the game. That's why we're here. No one wants a life of just bliss and honey and milk and honey in the land of... Nobody wants that. That's not even fun. Nobody wants to say, you know what? This is the highest version of myself and just instantly be there. I mean, I talk about on a mental level, on a spiritual level, being there, walking in that I am. But I'm talking about on a third dimensional plane, going through the challenges and hurdles to get there. Believe it or not, if they weren't there, you'd be bored with life. You'd be bored with life. And a lot of reasons why people are bored with life is because they see these challenges coming their way, and now they're like, damn, I'm miserable. Like, another one? Like, I just got my money right. Now another thing is coming? When really you should be saying, I created that. Let me go inside myself and see what my truth is. Why am I creating the same pattern? Why is my money doing the same thing? Why do my relationships keep doing the same thing? And say, let me go inside and identify that and fix that and take joy in that. Like I told my brothers this morning, man, I said, no kid wants to fire up the PlayStation 4 or 5 or Xbox or whatever and have a game and put it in and cut the game on, and instantly it says, you know what? You're the grand champion. You won the whole game. What fun would there be in that, brothers? So understand, man, that your sole purpose of being here is to manipulate this thing, brother. It's to look at your world and see what you don't like and say, you know what? I accept the challenge. I accept the challenge that nobody in my family has ever made over $50,000. Nobody in my family has ever gone past the 10th grade. Nobody in my family has ever been able to purchase a brand new car. Nobody in my family has ever been able to stay married more than 2 years. Nobody in my family has ever been able to father their children and say, you know what? I accept the challenge. Now let me go inside and manipulate this thing, man. Let me walk as if I know I'm made in the image. I'm telling you, brother, man. I'm telling you, bro. And I can say this a million different ways, man. I pray that before I die, everybody that subscribed to this channel understands this. I pray that everybody understands this, man. And I put this on everything I know. If every single person on the planet can understand this, what I'm saying right now, I would ask the Most High to take my life today. I would sacrifice my life today so that mankind could understand it. Because I'm tired of seeing my brothers not knowing it. I'm tired of seeing my brothers, low crawl through life, man, going through the trenches. First off, not understanding that they created the trenches. And then two, understanding that they can come out of that thing at any point in time they want to. At any point in time you want to, you can come out of your situation, bro. Any point in time you want to. A lot of us swim in it because we don't understand. I'm gonna tell you, bro. I'm gonna tell you this, but this is the thing. Once you create that new truth, right? Once you start walking in that I am, one of the key things of what Brother Robert Collier said in Secret of the Ages, man. He said this: the most important province of your conscious mind is to center your thoughts on the one thing you want. Believe that you receive it, and then shut the door on every suggestion of fear or worry or failure. In other words, once you define your new truth, once you define what your new reality is going to be, anything that's not aligned with it, disregard it. Anybody that's talking about things that don't line up with it, cut them off. Any places that you go that don't vibrate with the energy that you're in. In other words, if you're saying, I'm going to be the next president of the United States, and that's the energy you walking in, you have to know there are certain places that the next president isn't hanging out at. The next president isn't hanging out at the juke joint down the road where everybody is blowing kill and drinking straight Crown. That's no longer a part of your reality, man. That's no longer a part of your reality. If you're saying your reality is to have a 5%, 1% woman in your life, and I'm gonna raise some nice children, I'm gonna do this, then you can't be hanging at the local spot where nothing but booty cheeks are walking around and they serving chicken wings. That ain't your spot no more, man. That's no longer your spot. That no longer vibrates with where you're going. Brother said shut the door on everything that doesn't agree with that, man. I'm telling you, bro. We make it hard. We make something that's very simple. We make it difficult. And when I say we make it difficult, a lot of the systems, I'll call it what it is, a lot of the religions in place make it difficult. You know, we can talk about the bells and whistles of all the Lord's Suppers and the crucifixion. We can talk about all that stuff if you want to talk about that stuff, but who cares? Tell me who I am. Tell me about the image I'm made in. Everything else, man, like let's put that on the back burner for a minute. Tell me who I am, man. Because this other stuff hasn't served me one bit. You know, drinking wine and taking bread. Okay, what is that doing for me though? What is that doing? All this ceremonial BS, what is it doing for me? My bills are still got red ink on them. Repo man is still knocking on my door. But I'm having communion. I'm taking pilgrimage. No, brother, tell me who I am. Tell me what I'm capable of, man. Tell me why I'm here. And I'm telling you, brothers, you're here to manipulate energy, man.